Hello FlossTube, my name is Sarah, I'm from Memphis, and this is my channel about cross-stitch. Today is Sunday, January the 30th, and this is going to be a FlossTube extra today. This is going to be my 2021 finish parade. I know I've been putting this off and promising y'all, and here it is. I'm recording this for myself just as much as you all because I really would like to have a record of my 2021 finishes. I never did record one for 2020, which is the year I started stitching, and I don't know, maybe I'll go back and do that at some point. Seems a little long ago, but I'd also like to have a good record of those too. I do have a highlight on my Instagram of my 2020 finishes. Maybe I should make one of my 21 finishes too. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, yes. So thanks for coming and checking this finish parade out. I've never done a finish parade before. But hey, here goes. I have sorted these by start dates, not finish dates. So the first finish that I'm going to be showing you was my oldest whip. This is Unicorn Tapestry by the Tiny Modernist. Isn't it gorgeous? Yes. I started the Unicorn Tapestry by the Tiny Modernist on June 30th of 2020, and I finished this on November 29th of 2021. This chart is stitched on a 28 count Riviera Aqua. I think it's a Zweigart. And it is, if y'all only knew how many times I've started and stopped this video. I just can't. That was just a little box that fell off that actually had another piece laying on top of it, but it's gonna be okay. Wow. Okay. Sorry. So yes, I started this on June 30th, 2020, and I finished this November 29th of 2021. This was the chart that inspired me to begin cross-stitching. I saw this chart shown on Rachel Ray's channel, and I just fell in love with the colors, with the color of the fabric. Thought it was amazing. Still think it's an amazing. Don't think it's maybe the best choice for a beginner stitcher. Just because all of the little small motifs, that is a lot of color changes. Those are a lot of like just trying to keep up with where you are on the chart. Like it's not full coverage, but it is pretty darn, this is a full chart, y'all. This is no joke. I did not enjoy stitching this when I first started. I was frustrated. I was worried about carrying threads. I was getting lost. I started having to highlight on my chart and then like block off areas, but once I got the hang of stitching in general and became familiar with using the pin stitch method, I was able to switch colors easier and keep up with where I was going. I would not recommend this for a beginner just because it is frustrating, and I did put it down for quite a while, obviously, and just when I got back to it, I enjoyed it much, much more. So here we are, Unicorn Tapestry by the Tiny Modernist. All right. See, where am I gonna put these? Okay. My next finish. This was another semi-early start in my stitching career. That sounded funny, didn't it? But my stitching journey. This was an early start. This piece that I'm gonna be showing you next was actually a mystery stitch along. And I jumped in with both feet on that. I had never done a mystery stitch along before. Didn't really know what that entailed. And I mean, I took on a whopper. I took on a no joke mystery stitch along that turned out to be fabulous, but I feel very fortunate because not all of them are, unfortunately. But this one was great. This is Dark Queen of the Seas by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Here she is. Okay, so I started the Dark Queen of the Seas on September 12th of 2020. I am not sure what the drop date was. It might have been September 1st. I don't feel like I started her on the day she came out. I did have all of my materials and everything. I was ready to go, but maybe it was my work schedule or something. I'm not sure what that was about. But she is stitched on a 32 count opal Bewitched by Under the Sea Fabrics. The dyer of Under the Sea Fabrics is Leslie LaFleur, and she actually also put together these fabulous bead and specialty floss kits for us to purchase along with the fabric. Isn't she gorgeous? She is stitched exactly as charted. I didn't do any modifications. People are so creative and were so creative, and I just did not go that route with her. I just stitched her as Erin thought her, designed her, charted her. There were different face, like she had 2 different faces. So this is the face I chose. She had multiple colors of hair. I went with this hair. Where this area is with her magic, you could have charted, I mean, you could have stitched her magic or a skull. I think those were most of the options, but I kept it very, I did not get creative with this. She was my first kind of like, I don't remember, I don't think she was my first beading. No, because I did a Mill Hill first. But she was kind of my first like petite treasure braid. Maybe not my first, but she was my first fractional stitches for sure. If you would believe the fractional stitches in her face to make her look like that, wow. But yeah, I see now that I've had her put up, I don't have her framed yet. I do see some threads that I need to pull a little more snug and some things I need to look at before I take her to be framed. But she is amazing. The back stitch of her magic on her tentacles, literally, I mean, you want to talk about some stress trying to follow that and make that look right, but she's gorgeous. I love her so much. I got behind on her. I kept up with her pretty good, and then in the summer, like in May, she's killing my arm, sorry. In May, this this whole area right here was like, I don't know, it was like 5,000 and something stitches, and I got behind, but I'm going to tell you when I finished her. I finished her exactly 1 year from the day that I started her. So I started her September 12th of 2020, and I finished her September 12th of 2021, which was exactly the month in which she was scheduled to be finished. So I'm really excited about that. I knew if I didn't keep up and get caught up with her, then I would probably never finish her, because she is no joke. I love, probably my favorite thing about this, besides her face, because that is a gorgeous, gorgeous face, I love these fish so much. These are the cutest dang fish. I mean, I love those fish. And I do love the tentacles, and I do love the magic or tattoos or whatever you want to call them on her tentacles. They turned out so, I mean, I love her. Erin and Cassandra of Autumn Lane Stitchery, they did a fabulous job and Leslie from Under the Sea Fabrics. They did a fabulous job designing, administration, all of it, all of it. I was very lucky that my first mystery stitch along was such a wonderful, wonderful experience. All right. My next, oh, hold on just a second, y'all. I cannot leave her all bunched up. Okay. All right. My next finish was the 2020 Prairie Schooler Santa. Let's see if I can use something else to hold this up on. Here we go. Here we are. Okay, so I really should have had a board, huh? Okay, with a clippy on it or something like Sheila does. All right, so Prairie Schooler 2020 Santa. I started this Santa on October 1st of 2020, finished it July 4th of 2021. I stitched the Santa on a 32 count Petty Point blue, using called for DMC, with the exception of, I know I broke the cardinal rule, but I did change the color of the green. I mean, it's still green. I just changed the DMC color just a little bit because the color that Prairie Schoolers are charted in, I thought it kind of clashed with this blue, so I needed something in a little bit of a different tone. But isn't he cute? I started this as a stitch along with my mom and my Aunt Susan, and we had a really great time doing this. And we've continued we don't have a stitch along anymore, but we use Zoom once a week and usually work on something needle work related while we're stitching. Neither one of them are doing any cross stitch right now. My aunt is currently stitching a hat for a friend or knitting a hat for a friend. And my mom is crocheting snowflakes for She has some really large windows in her home, and she thought it would be fun to kind of crochet some old-fashioned looking snowflakes to hang in those windows during Christmas in the winter months. So, but I'm cross-stitching when I'm talking to them. So there we go. There's the prairie school. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this guy except he's really cute. My Aunt Susan picked him out because she liked the prairie schooler Santas, and I agree. I think I'll have him probably made into a pillow at some point. I don't know. I just haven't gotten him finished yet. Or I might frame him or make a flat fold. I don't know. I'm thinking a little tiny pillow would be cute though. Yeah, I like that one. All right, my next finish is an FFO. Woo! Not FFO by me. I sent a batch of pieces up to Keepsakes this past summer and got them back and love them, and I need to send another batch up there. All right, so this is the Halloween Parade by the Blue Flower. Isn't it so cute? I started this on October 8th of 2020, and I finished it January 24th of 2021. I stitched this on, I didn't write it down. Why didn't I write it down? And I love what I stitched this on. Hold on a minute. It's going to come to me. This is a 32 count Ancient by Picture This Plus. I love, see like how it has that dark gray swirls in there. I love it. It's wonderful. And I stitched this using the called for fancy floss. Everything is as charted except for my little cat up here. I actually have a white cat named Bella, and she has a blue eye and a green eye, and so I've personalized this to match our cat Bella. But I love this. This is so cute. Like I said, this was finished by Keepsakes. My favorite thing about the finishing is the Lady Dot chenille trim that they chose for the pillow. It's in the color Sequoia, and it makes everything on this pop. I just love it. Got a cute back. It's great. I love the Blue Flower, and this was so fun to stitch. Like this little dog right here with his little colored unicorn mane. That was really fun. I enjoyed that. The skeleton, I did not find that fun to stitch. What else did I like stitching? I did like stitching the tree, but I kind of like stitching things like that and that are kind of curvy like that. I enjoy that. So I would say my favorite thing to stitch was this little guy here. And my least favorite thing was probably this skeleton, just because, counting. What's the chart say? Counting is hard. I love the moon too. Anyway, this is Halloween Parade by the Blue Flower, and I love this. All right, finish number 5. Okay, finish number 5. This was another stitch along that I joined early in my stitching journey. This was the Christmas Wreath Club by the Frosted Pumpkin. I started stitching this on November 29th of 2020, and I finished this on August 21st of 2021. And this was a monthly release. I started on time and finished on time. I bought the kit, and so the kit had a 28 count Heartland by Picture This Plus, so this linen, and then all DMC, and then these super cute little Jabco peppermint buttons here. All right, and then on the last release, it was directions on how to finish this into a pillow. I did not finish this myself. I sent this to my Aunt Susan in Oregon, and she very nicely made it into a pillow for me. This is some Ruby Star, is that right? Ruby Star fabric. They recommended this fabric range, and I went on to purchase it like right after it was released, that what they wanted us to use, and the called for or suggested was sold out, but this was something that was within the range with the same colors, so I went for it. I was a little nervous about it, but I like it. There's my cute little Handmade by Sarah tag that I got. I will put that in the link if you want, in the description box below if you want to know where I got this little tag from, because I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's a great little site to order from. It's on Etsy. Something Emblem, I think. Okay, but here we go. Isn't it cute? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this big old bow. Oh my gosh. when that part came out, we were all freaking out about that a little bit. I love how it turned out. I love Santa upside down in the chimney. My least favorite part to stitch of this was this ornament right here. It was just, you know, the blue's showing up really good now, but there's not, I mean, it's pretty, it's a light blue and with the white, and it was a lot of counting. Counting is hard, remember? What was my favorite part to stitch? My favorite part to stitch probably was either, I really like these little stars. I enjoy stitching those a lot. And I liked stitching this pink house. I thought it was really cute. Oh, these two I liked these two. And actually, I have some boo-boos in here where I just kind of got off a little bit, and I was able to be creative enough with like the pine cone design in here that I don't think you can tell. It turned out just fine. I mean, maybe I got off in one spot or whatever, and I was able to just kind of, you know, move some grain around a little bit and make it all work. So yeah, I love this. This was really fun to have out for Christmas this year. It was fun to look at and see and just remember working on that. So that was FFO by my aunt out in Oregon, my Aunt Susan. Okay, my next finish I don't have to show you. So I'm going to put the picture up here and I'm going to talk about it. My next finish is going to be finish number 7 is Joy to the World by Twin Peak Primitives. This was a free offering back in December of 2020. I started Joy to the World December 19th of 2020, and I finished it March 31st of 2021. It is stitched on a 28 count Babbling Brook. I ordered it on a 1-2-3 stitch, and it wasn't, I don't remember that it was like labeled with a maker. It might be Picture This Plus, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But it was hand-dyed, so I don't know. And this is using DMC, and I used some Petite Treasure braid to add sparkle like in the snow and on the rooftop and along the bottom. I sent this up to Keepsakes to be FFO'd, and they turned it into a pillow for me. And I gifted the pillow to my mom and stepdad for Christmas this year. They love to decorate for Christmas, and I just thought it would be perfect in their new house. So it doesn't live with me anymore, but it has a good home. All right, my next finish is going to be finish number 8. I finished this one. I FFO'd this one myself. This is Polar Bear by Natalia Luneva. The chart I got out of the 2020 Just Cross Stitch Ornament Edition, and I started it on December 19th of 2020, and I finished it on December 20th of 2021. I stitched this on a 32 count evergreen that I got at my LNS. I do not know who the dyer is. It's probably a Witchelt or a Zweigart or something like that. And I stitched it using... So I did change some things on this one. All of this where it says Merry Christmas and this Aurora Borealis, this was charted in a green, and this was stitched on a black, I believe. And I changed it. I used a fancy floss. I can't remember the name of it. I'm so sorry, y'all. And I used like just a really variegated fancy floss here. And then this guy is all stitched in Whisper in different colors, like 3 different beige colors of Whisper. I did do a little trick that I heard from Julie, Kansas City girl in the Colorado world, and she recommended you doing your first leg of your stitch with regular DMC and then doing your top stitch with Whisper. And I was very successful in doing that, and I really like how it turned out. So I used Vonna Pfeiffer's ornament finishing tutorial. I used the round tutorial, even though this is kind of like a funny oval shape that I kind of just changed, but it's the same thing, you know. I followed her tutorial. It was great. I just had this backed with some Happy Christmas fabric and one of these little what are they called? Labels, tags. I used some Lady Dot chenille trim. I think this one is called Toast. And just a little gold trim that I got from a big box store at some point. I've been kind of over the years, you know, I like to wrap presents fancy sometimes or whatever. So I've just kind of accumulated a lot of trims and ribbons over the years that now I can use for cross stitch stuff, but I just kind of have this big tub of that kind of stuff. So anyway, I made this for my son, and he really liked it. So I'm glad he liked it. He always liked bears growing up. So here we go. I'm scared of bears. I don't know about y'all, but no. All right, so that's polar bear. All right, let's see. Finish number 9. Okay, I do not have this one either, but let's just talk about this. This was a very, very special stitch. I stitched, I'm gonna just put the picture of it up here while I talk. I stitched Rabbit Warren by Notforgotten Farm. The special thing about this is that I stitched this for my Aunt Susan in Oregon, and I stitched it using my grandmother's original Danish flower threads from the 80s. I did a conversion from the DMC that was called for to the Danish flower threads to the best of my ability. I had a limited palette to work with, so some things may not be exact as Lori charted her DMC for this, because I just, like I said, I wanted to use the threads that were my grandmother's, and my aunt was such a good steward of these threads over the years, and when I started stitching, she sent them to me from Oregon, and it was just really, really fun and meaningful to stitch that. My aunt likes bunnies, and so I just wanted something that she would have, just to say thank you for being great about taking care of grandma's stuff. And you know, my aunt still stitches and does needlecraft and knits and quilts, and my mom does. My mom stitches and knits, and my mom doesn't quilt, but she's doing crochet, and she used to tat, and you know, they're very adept at needle arts. So it was just a special thank you for my aunt for being such a good steward of something so precious. And I really enjoyed stitching this. I love Notforgotten Farm. Lori Brecklin is an amazing designer. I have plenty of her charts that I look forward to stitching in the future. I started this piece on January 26th of 21, and I finished it March 16th of 2021. I stitched this on one of my very, very favorite fabrics. It is a 28 count Havisham by Picture This Plus. I love this stuff. It is a great staple. I have multiple pieces of it. It's, you know, cream, but it's shot through with some yellow and some lilac, and it's gorgeous. I just love it. So this is Rabbit Warren. I framed this myself doing like a pin frame. I followed Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. I followed her tutorial on her FlossTube channel. It's not perfect. I did take, it was a sign that I got from a big box store at some point, something about drinking coffee in the morning or whatever. It was just the perfect size, because this is not like your average size piece, of course. I wish I had like around those edges, excuse me, a little more of like a little fillet or something to put in there, but I still think it looks nice. And I wanted it to where if my aunt wanted to change how it was framed and FFO it in some other way that would better work for her home, or something she preferred, I wanted her to easily be able to take it out and unpin it and do whatever she wants with it. So this is Rabbit Warren by Notforgotten Farm. Okay, let's see what is next. My 10th finish. My 10th finish is Sense and Sensibility. This is something, it was a stitch along by the Stitching Book Club. You can get this, it was Stitching Book Club is Kristen at SapphireMtHandcrafts on Etsy, and then she's a Stitching Book Club on Etsy. And what she does is she picks a book, and you read along, and this was a kit that she sent, and you stitch while you're reading along to the book. I listened to this Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen on Audible, and this was the kit that she sent, the kit fabric. It's an even weave. I think it's probably it's 32 count even weave with DMC. Very nice. I really like this fabric. I know I've probably talked about this before. It's like a little bit, it's kind of odd. It's a little bit stretchy, and it stays like it. I ironed this like one time, so I don't know. It doesn't wrinkle very easily, so I love that. I have not FFO'd this. This isn't necessarily my style or color palette that I would choose, so I'm really not sure what I'm going to do with this just yet. She did send us some finishing items in the kit to make this kind of like into an oval ruched piece with like some satiny blue, and I'm just, well, it's kind of complicated looking to me. I don't sew, and you know, I don't normally finish everything, so we'll see what I do with this. I'm not just sure yet, but this is Sense and Sensibility Stitch Along by the Stitching Book Club. Okay, I finished number 11. Finishing number 11 was just kind of, you know, just for fun. All right, this is the Floral Fairy by Stitchy Princess Black. You'll find her on Etsy. She has very cute, wonderful patterns. I'm also stitching the Fox by her and Mrs. Hen, and she's great. Go check her out. She's always having a sale. Very, very nice patterns. Easy to read, easy to deal with. So this is the Floral Fairy. And really, the reason why I stitched the Floral Fairy was because I had purchased a skein of floss, Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. I purchased a skein of floss that's called Jungle Cruise, and it's this very variegated blue and green. And I was just kind of thinking about what would I use that for? And then I thought, I'm going to use this for her, and I'm going to see how this turns out. So I started the Floral Fairy on April 7th of 2021. I finished her on May 30th of 2021. I finished her while we were on our beach trip for Memorial Day weekend down in Panama City. My niece was with us for the trip, and she really enjoyed watching me stitch her. I had thought about getting this finished and giving it to her, but once I got it back, it's very young and she's in her 20s. And so as much as I think she enjoyed watching me stitch, I just don't think this is going to fit into her decor and her day-to-day life. So the thought was there, but I think I'm going to hold on to it until maybe there's a little one around somewhere that this maybe is a little bit more appropriate for, or that would enjoy it more. Anyway, I think she's super, super sweet. I stitched her on a 32 count hibiscus. It's an opalescent hibiscus by BeStitchMe. Brandy at BeStitchMe is beautiful fabrics. I had her FFO'd by Keepsakes, and I had her turn it into a flat fold. So you'll see there's the back and the inner lining. We've got some rickrack trim in this so she stands up. She's sweet. She's sweet. It's the Floral Fairy by Stitchy Princess Black. All right, my next finish is finish number, sorry, my face is itchy now. Finish number 12. Why does that happen every time? I'm not alone. This happens to everybody. Okay, this is Winter is Coming. Let's see if we can get that to focus in good. This chart is by Heirloom X Factory. I found this on Etsy. And I started this April 17th of 2021 and finished it April 20th of 2021. So I started this because FlossTubers on Instagram brought to everyone's attention that it was the Game of Thrones Iron Anniversary. So it was a 10-year anniversary for the Game of Thrones first episode. So hashtag GOT10 SAL was what this was stitched for, and it was so nice because I remember watching that first episode of Game of Thrones on that Sunday night with my husband and being absolutely floored, blown away. What kind of show is this? It was amazing. So it was really fun to join FlossTubers with the stitch along, and I just wanted something. I wanted something a little bit, you know, if you knew Game of Thrones, like you would know this is referring to it, but it's not like in your face. I can have it out in the winter. Just kind of like a little subtle nod. So I stitched this on a 32 count white opalescent, and you can kind of see it shimmer there. I used the called for DMC, and then this was also finished at Keepsakes. I asked them to make this into a flat fold for me. So we've got cute polka under there. Just kind of like wintry colors. We've got some braid and a little tassel, little bows. Yeah, so this just sits out in January for winter. All right. Let's see, number 13, finish number 13. Okay, so Colorado CrossStitcher, she started a thing this summer called CrossStitch Camp. And basically it was like start a piece in the first, the beginning of the month, do it by the end of the month. There was a contest. I didn't participate in a contest, but what I did was I did it in June, July, and August, and I thought this would be a perfect opportunity for me to work on and finish some Halloween stitching that I wanted to get done, some smaller items. So this is, finish number 13 is Starry Night. This is a kit I got from Bothy Threads. I started this on 6/1/21 and I finished it 6/30/21. It was a kit. I stitched it on a kit. What is this? It's an Ada. I don't know what count it is. I think these guys are so cute. You should have seen the little blobs. They look like little blobs of cookie dough or something before I got the back stitching in on them. And then this gold floss, and I'm using the term floss very loosely. It was like Christmas tinsel that I was stitching the words with, but I love these gold sequin stars. I think they're so cute. I don't have this finished yet, but I am just gonna put it into a little frame so I can have it out at Halloween next year. But these guys, adorable. I just kind of forgot about them. They were in my under the bed box, and I just kind of forgot about to finish them before Halloween this year. So I love them though. It's so cute. So cute. All right, my next finish is another cross stitch camp finish that I did not finish in time. I don't remember why. I must have been busy. I probably got distracted working on something else. I tend to do that. But this is Tomb Sweet Tomb by Fairy Wool in the Woods. Isn't this funny? So my friend Sam of Sammie Liz, she has a FlossTube. She passed this chart on to me when she finished it because I thought it was so cute. I started this on July 5th of 2021. I finished it on August 30th of 2021. I stitched this on a 28 count butter crunch by Needle Bling Designs. The color is not really coming off very well in this video. Let me see if I can explain it to you more. It is yellow, and it has some modeling that's like super bright yellow, but it's all got a green tint to it, which is why I'm sure it's coming off weird because green usually does. I stitched this using the called for DMC, and then this is my husband and I, so I did personalize this a little bit, and I gave the guy green eyes. My husband has green eyes, and I gave myself an earring because one of my favorite pairs of earrings, I don't think you can see it, it's a bead. One of my favorite pairs of earrings, which I'm wearing, are these abalone shell earrings, and I wear them a lot, so I put my earring on there. Anyway, isn't this cute? Yeah. And I have passed this chart on to another friend, a stitchy friend who likes to stitch creepy things, so I'm sure one day she'll be getting that done too. I think it's so cute. All right, my next finish is finish number 15. It is Santa's Sleigh Ride by Dames of the Needle. I started this on July 9th, 2021 for Christmas in July. And is that what we were calling it? I mean, that's what I think of, Christmas in July, stitching in July. I stitched Christmas in July. And I finished it on Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2021. I stitched this on the called for 28 count milk chocolate by Witchelt. And I used the called for fancy floss. Now, I don't remember any of the colors as far as the fancy floss goes, except for this of the moon, and it is Ohio Lemon Pie. And I can't remember if it's Gentle Arts or Classic Colorworks, but it's a fabulous yellow. I love it so much. This was a fun stitch. I finished this on Christmas Eve while I was watching sad Christmas Eve type movies like tearjerkers because everybody was in bed. Actually, it was like Christmas Eve was in the morning, and it was like the night before where I started stitching and finished it. So I finished it like after midnight, and I was watching like Love Actually and The Family Stone and all of those things. So anyway, very cute. Obviously I haven't FFO'd this yet. I don't know what this one's going to be. I don't really know yet. Okay. Finish number 16 was another cross stitch camp alum camper. This is Hares Happy Haunting by Plum Street Samplers. This is my first Plum Street Samplers I've stitched. Aren't they cute? It was actually a free chart, and I think I got it on Plum Street Samplers blog, website, something like that. That's where I got it. Aren't they adorable? I love it. I changed the year because I think the year's charted to say 2012, and so I just transpose the numbers there. I started this on August 4th of 21, and I finished this on August 26th of 21. I stitched this on a 32 count Escape by BeStitchMe. I chose this color even though they don't really maybe pop as well as they would if I put it on like a neutral. I chose this because I felt like they were like going out trick-or-treating. So, you know, sunset, it's getting dark. Yeah, I just like that vibe. So I think they're adorable. I mean, I stitched this using the called for floss. I can't remember if it was Fancy Floss or DMC. My bad, I'm sorry. But aren't they cute? Cute, cute, cute. Yes. Okay. Finish number 17. Okay, so I knew in 2020 I purchased the Autumn Royalty chart by Lindy Stitches. It was a 3-part chart, and so I knew I was going to stitch one in September, one in October, and one in November of the following year. So this will be my September start of Autumn Royalty. This is Lord of Gourds by Lindy Stitches. Look at him. I started him on September 3rd of 21 and I finished him on September 7th of 21. I stitched him on a 28 count Jobelin London Fog. I do not know the dyer. I bought this piece of Jobelin from my LNS and it didn't say who was the dyer on it. It's a nice piece of Jobelin and I used it for the other 2 of the Autumn Royalty trio. I stitched him using the called for Fancy Floss and DMC. Look at him. I love her lettering. This one's super cute. I think I'm going to have these all finished into like smallish pillows maybe. I don't know if they're too big for a dough bowl. I don't know. Or maybe I'll have them. I was thinking of that, but then maybe I could make them into a little flat fold and just set each one out. That'd be cute like that too, right? All right. Finish number 18. Is called Some Good. This is by Darling and Whimsy Designs. I stitched this on a 28 count Havisham, my fave, by Picture This Plus. I was very excited to use another skein of Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. This one is Enchanted Woods. The lettering is done in a DMC, and I did not write down what DMC I chose. It's just a green. So here's a story with this one. This was charted by Darling and Whimsy Designs. This is a quote inspired by the Tolkien books, Lord of the Rings, and the Peter Jackson movies. And she charted this, and then she put this up, and all of the proceeds from the sales of this chart went to support the fundraiser we did this past fall for a coalition to stop violence against Native women. So we had a hashtag MMIWG2S marathon. And this was a marathon, but this wasn't a marathon piece, but that's what this benefited, was the Coalition to Stop Violence Against Native Women. Isn't it wonderful? Yes, I had a fun time stitching it. I started it on September 11th of 2021, and I finished it on September 23rd of 2021. I don't know I haven't finished it yet either. I need to get busy finishing some of these, or FFOing these. Yeah. All right. Finish number 19 was another one of my Autumn Royalty Phyllis, and this is the Count of Candy. Oh my goodness, he is fancy and he knows it, y'all. All right, I started this one on October 17th of 2021 and I finished it on October 21st of 2021. I stitched this on the same as the last one, the 28 count Jobelin in London Fog, using the called for Fancy Floss. I think he's handsome and a little arrogant, and he knows it. And look at that crown on his head. He's fabulous. I had fun stitching these. I really did. There he is. Okay. Finish number 20 would be the third piece of my Autumn Royalty trio. My favorite. This one is my fave. Prince of Pies. Look at him. I mean, look at his head. He's so cute. I love him. I started him on November 28th of 2021, and I finished him on November 29th of 2021. Like, I knocked him out. Isn't he handsome? Yes, I stitched him on 28 count Jobelin London Fog using the called for Fancy Floss and DMC. I love him. He's super cute, and I love the lettering so much. So I don't think I necessarily want to display them all like at the same time, like 1 September. I do want to do like 1 September, 1 October, 1 November. I just have to decide whether I want them made into pillows or flat folds, or I don't think I'll frame them. I'm sort of, as I'm talking out loud, I'm sort of leaning toward the flat fold look because I think they look nice that way. I think it might be too big and square for a pillow, maybe. I don't know. Okay. All right. So finish number, let's see. Finish number 20. Almost done. Almost done. This was completely an unexpected finish. I mean, because to be honest, it was an unexpected start. This is Yule Ball by Bendy Stitchy. And what happened was that I received a Yule Ball mystery stitch along box, sort of styled as an advent box from Forbidden Fiber Co. from Leanne in December. And I opened it up during my Flossmas every day. And what we got was, the first day I think we might have gotten the fabric, which is gorgeous. Okay, gorgeous. It's a 32 count opalescent. It's called Mythical. This is by Forbidden Fiber Co. And all of the floss is Forbidden Fiber Co. floss. And so what happened was, like every other day, we would get a new floss and a new portion of the chart. And the chart would just contain the color of the floss we got. So I got really wrapped up and enjoyed like stitching all of this color in one day or 2 days. And then the next one came out, and then I had to do that, and I had to do that. So I mean, like I did it like when it came out. And yeah, so there's our Yule Ball, and it was fun to stitch, and I really wasn't expecting to do that. And it completely derailed my entire December stitchy plans. Like everything that I had kitted that I was going to start in December, really, it didn't happen because I was stitching this every day. So it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I mean, it probably would make a cute little pillow. And, you know, because it's not Christmas, I could leave this out I could have this in January. You know, I could have it in December and January, but I like to make things into pillows instead of on chairs. So, and it's big enough. Yeah. So there we are. Gorgeous fabric, gorgeous floss, cute pattern from Michelle, Bendy Stitchy. Yes, yes, unexpected, but it was fun. I'm going to be starting a Downton Abbey one that I got in the mail from her for Downton Abbey Valentine's. I'm starting that one this week. Doing the same thing, opening and stitching, and yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Okay, so my last finish of 2021. Did I ever say in the beginning that I had 21 finishes in 2021? I did. I stitched this for my daughter and son-in-law. I don't stitch. Excuse me. I have given my daughter and son an ornament every year of their life. And I've, you know, written it down and kept it for them. And then the plan has always been when they get married and move out of the house, I box up their Christmas ornaments and give them their list. And my mother has given them ornaments every year for their whole lives. So they have tons of ornaments, and I've labeled them appropriately. And so they all know, but the deal is you get married, you move out, you get your box of ornaments, right? So my daughter got married in November this year, so I was able to box up her ornaments and give those to her. And then I made her an ornament. So I did a stitchy one this year, and isn't it cute? All right, so the chart is really just the trees, like the 2 trees, and it's called Dancing Trees by Michael Powell. I got it out of a book I got on Amazon. It's something like 21 stitches. I'll put it in the description if you want the book. But what I did was I thought, well, I'll use the trees because I maybe they look like they're dancing, but they look like they're in love to me, right? And then I charted my daughter and son-in-law's initials at the top here, and this is similar to how it was on their wedding invitation. And then somewhere I saw a cute little thing where it said Mary and married, so I charted that, and then they got married in 2021. So there we go. This was a fun stitch. A lot of blends in there. I love them. I love Michael Powell's style. I just did this kind of like in a flat fold style, and I've got a little bell, and I've got, this says on it, this little tag says joy on it. You can't really see it, but I got it from Lady Dot. And I also got this really pretty red and white twill from Lady Dot. This is a velveteen that is, it has adhesive on either side. I first heard about this from Michelle G, MommaLovesYouGB Michelle, not Michelle G, MommaLovesYouGB, Michelle on her FlossTube. She was talking about buying this velvet that has adhesive backing that jewelers use in their cases. So, and then I've got the little tag on the back of there too. But yeah, that was my final finish of 2021. I finished that. I started it on December 22nd of 2021, and I finished it on December 23rd of 2021. And I used the fabric I used was a 32 count one of a kind by Forbidden Fabrico. And this is just called for DMC. Yeah, that turned out cute. So those are my 2021 finishes. I feel like I've stitched more than I finished this past year. I didn't ever keep up with how many whips I started with at the beginning of the year or that I'm going into 2022 with. But I mean, I feel pretty good about 21 finishes in 2021. I actually finished a huge piece like 2 days into 2022. I could have finished that in 2021, but I chose to do 12 new starts on New Year's Eve with Pam and Kia and all sorts of other stitchers. So I didn't get that finish in for 2021, but it's okay. It worked out. I got 21 finishes in 2021. We'll see how many I get in the next year. I do tend to like large projects. So that, you know, that kind of cuts down on the number of finishes you can get when you're stitching on the big projects. But anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch the video today. I appreciate you. Yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed sharing this with you. I hope you saw something maybe you liked, and now maybe you want to go check that out and stitch it for yourself. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. I love hearing what you have to say about everything. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to watch this video. I appreciate it. I've enjoyed making it. I hope you see something on here that enables you or sparks some creativity. I appreciate just having the opportunity to make such a video and keep good records for myself so I can see what I've been up to over the years. And it's nice to see your accomplishments, especially when your darling husband wonders what you ever finish. And then you're like, I finish a lot of stuff, right? I do tend to like big projects, so I don't know what my next year is going to look like finish-wise. You know, we'll see. But as always, it's an adventure, and thank y'all for stopping by. If you want to follow along on my progress on my current projects, just come on over to my Instagram and check me out there. You'll find me at Memphis.Sarah.E. I post a lot of progress updates there and in my stories, and I hope to see y'all for a regular FlossTube coming soon. Thanks and have a good day. Bye.